this is Check Green's Binder, where I do predictions of the future. If like me do prediction field, let me know in the comments below. Just a reminder, we do lives here on Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m. Central and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Central. So make sure you mark it on your calendar. Today we're going to do a little bit, something a little bit different. After this show finishes, approximately 11 o'clock, we're going to be doing 11:15 for the remote viewing, so everybody can get into that particular show after this show. So make sure you tune in for that. Let's get started with the card of the day as we're waiting for more and more people to come into the chat. This is from the Healing with the Fairies deck, and today's card is Positive Expectations. And this is the message from universe to us for today. It seems everybody's hoping for many of those great things to happen. Okay. And it's going to be kind of going into one of the topics that I've chosen for today's training. Okay. Having those positive expectations, you can have them and write them down and all that sort of thing. On the fridge or on your shaving mirror or whatever. But you also need those actions. It's the law of action, the law of attraction that is the winning combination of getting things that you wish to have. So that's our card for today. Make sure you have those positive expectations for life and all the world, of course, and start taking those actions to bring that into our reality. Okay, so let's get into some of the questions. The question of living in fear. I know a lot of people have been watching too much news and too much of those YouTube videos that are giving us the fear. You have to remember there's people out there that would, there are people that are out there that would love us and expect us to be in fear, of constant fear, okay? And as Grandmaster Simon said way back when I was doing Kung Fu training and teaching myself, that living in fear always keeps you down, okay? It doesn't let you rise above many of the things in life. So living in fear is the plan of the elites to keep you in check. Okay? So, and it's a good way to herd the populace into certain reactive states of mind. Okay? So if you're fearful about a particular thing, if it's going to happen or if it's not going to happen, you're going to react in a certain way, okay? In life, you must learn to be proactive, okay? Not reactive to the things that they're trying to keep you in fear with. The other part to why they would do that, okay, is they know the whole herd is going to go in a certain direction, okay, because of certain fears, real or imagined. Most of them are imagined, okay? And we had a couple of years, not that long ago, where everybody was living in fear of something that really wasn't that dangerous, okay? And they reacted in a certain way, okay? So living in fear always holds you down and it doesn't let you rise above. Right now, they're keeping you in fear about cryptocurrencies on what might happen if you're holding it or you're buying it. You may go to jail, blah, 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 blah. There's very little power that they actually do. The only reason that the people have that power over us is they keep you in fear, okay, of some consequence of what might happen. But if we all stand together and not live in fear and be proactive, okay, there's nothing that they can really do. Once it spreads throughout the entire populace, okay, and we're starting to see this in different parts of the world, like France and Germany. And if you pay attention to the news and see the actual thing that is happening and not the lies that they're giving you. The other part of that is, if you're living in fear of something real or imagined, it makes you think that you actually need those politicians to protect you from these certain things that usually they created in the first place. Okay, so make sure you're not living in fear and being proactive and not reactive to the things that they're showing you. Being proactive meaning protect your assets in other forms outside of the system. Not necessarily. Really think about the things that they're showing you about health situations and making decisions not based on fear. Every time you base a decision on fear, you're always going to be making huge mistakes. Always come at any decision that you're going to be making not in fear. Okay. And when you can actually get yourself out of that fear and being proactive and looking at a certain topic in many different angles, you're going to start to make proper decisions on everything that's around you. So that's our little bit of a training for today of living in fear. Okay, let's get into the next thing as more and more people come in. Pepe meme coin. Well, Pepe the frog, I believe it's a meme that's fairly popular. What's that?
Skunk?
Is
Pepe Le Pew?
No, there's another meme that's a frog.
Oh, I see.
So, and I think that's what they're alluding to.
There's a question in the comments too.
Okay, so we'll get into that right now. The Pepe meme coin. There's a lot of those going around. Doesn't mean that it's any good. But if you like it and you want to put a little bit of money into it, sure. Well, let's throw some cards down for it. See how it's going to be doing in the 1 to 2 year from today. Overall, I think this is going to be a short-lived cryptocurrency. It's going to be a cryptocurrency that you get into, and it's going to be growing for the next year or two as popularity of this particular cryptocurrency is high. Once the novelty wears off, these coins usually downgrade to or nobody's talking about it anymore, and nobody's really paying attention to it, and nobody's really putting any money into it. And we've seen many coins over the course of history that me and the wife have been into cryptocurrencies that have come and then now they're gone, and everybody just says get into Bitcoin. It's the true and it's the cryptocurrency that I don't think will ever go away. And psychically, I'm also picking that up as well. But for the meantime, it's a fun little coin you can get into. If you want to invest a little bit of money, that's okay. But I don't think it's going to be this huge cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum or any of those particular cryptocurrencies. It's not going to topple the Bitcoin off of its pedestal. I do see it having some growth in the next 2 years, and maybe a good short-term hold for anybody that's interested in doing that. Make sure that is not financial advice, and this is for entertainment purposes only. But I do see it having some pretty good growth over the next year or so. Okay, so a short-term hold, not a long-term thing. Okay, hopefully that answers that question. What else we got? ETH. The title of today's show is ETH in 2030. What's it gonna be doing? A lot of people are asking that question. Is it gonna get to that 300,000 per ETH in the year 2030. Some people are saying 200,000, even way up to 500,000, which will be just a little under the Bitcoin price of about 1.5 million in 2030 or 2045 in that slot. As we move along into the world of crypto, I'm thinking that, yes, it's going to be getting into that price range very, very soon in 2030, 2040. I could see it getting into that price range as we move along, as they burn more coins and there's more interest in that particular blockchain moving forward. And of course, as I've said previously, that it's going to be connected to all the other cryptocurrencies in some way, even stablecoins and XRP. The YouTube channel from remote viewing, they've actually showed the chart on how everything is going to be interconnected, and you're going to be paying taxes whenever you do anything in that ecosystem. Think of it more of a ecosystem moving forward. And yes, it's going to be getting the Ethereum tokens are going to be getting pretty good price over that period of time. So if you're hanging on to the Ethereum tokens for any length of time, just keep holding on to them. Do not give into the fear mongering and all that sort of thing. It's gonna go to zero anytime soon. Blah 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 blah. You have to remember, fear is all around, and people like getting clicks on their videos. It doesn't mean that it's true. Okay, so by Ethereum by 2030-ish, I think is going to be doing very, very well. Okay, let's get some more questions on the board here as we move along. Can you please compare Opal versus Render? Which is better investment? I think Render is going to be the better of the two moving forward. I think Opal will be okay. I'm picking up that it will have its place under the sun, but I think Render is a little bit better of the two. Let's just throw some cards down for those two. For Opal, I think we're going to be doing okay. I think the price of it is overall is going to be pretty good. So pretty good investment. I don't think it's going to be taking out, of course, Render for what it does overall. There are going to be some problems that are going to be happening with Render in the next little while. As a cryptocurrency platform grows and it stretches and keeps getting built upon, I think they're going to be having some technical issues in the next little while, which will bring that price down in the next little while, where Opal is a little newer and it hasn't gone through all of those growth spurts and situations that come along with growing. Okay. So I think Render is going to be going through a couple situations coming up programming wise, and which is normal for cryptocurrencies to go through in the next little while. There's going to be some new things that are going to be putting Render is going to have some new things put into it that's going to be expanding its usefulness in the next little while, according to the cards. It's going to be solving many of those problems that they've had behind the scenes programming, but that's going to be taking its time. And of course, people act upon their fear and do those knee-jerk reactions. So you're going to be able to pick up some Render for pretty cheap coming up. What other things are we going to see? New opportunities are going to be presenting themselves with Render. They're going to be doing brand new things with the platform, and they're visualizing some new situations and new blockchain in the next little while. So just be ready for that. The price is going to be coming down because of uncertainty. Okay. But I think overall it's going to be winning out over Opal. So for the Opal itself, trusting your intuition on this particular cryptocurrency. So if you have a good feeling about it, trust your intuition about this one. Of course, asking yourself the question, is it really necessary, and is it actually the better of the two cryptocurrencies moving forward? It will have harmony within the group that is part of Opal. But I don't see any huge changes for it for the next little while. I don't think it's gone through all the growth changes that it necessarily will need to go through for the next little while. Okay, hopefully that answers some questions. Hello, happy Sunday. I was wondering about Flare Network success in the next 2 years. Flare has been around for a little bit. Let's have a look. I think Flare is going to be going through another transitional period, which will bring fear and all that uncertainty, which will bring that price down a little bit, as opposed to the rest of the market. So there's that. When new things come in after that little hump, and then people see that it works, I think it's going to have some spurts in the next 2 years where the price will go up. People like a lot of new changes. If they work or not, that's questionable. But I do believe they're going to be getting into much broader aspects of their particular cryptocurrency overall. You have to remember all cryptocurrencies can pretty much do the same thing. They're all programmable money. Even the things that are on the Flare network can happen on all the other blockchains or platforms because it's programmable, right? It may take a little bit more doing to do all the same things that are done on the Flare network into the Bitcoin ecosystem, but it can happen. Okay. Just be aware of the things that are happening with Flare, and I'm picking up that the people that are working on Flare are very aware of their surroundings, and that you're going to be accommodating many of the things moving forward for Flare, and to meet or get into a particular situation that they're usable for the end user. It's like yesterday's show I was talking about. You're going to see more and more cryptocurrencies instead of just, this is a good way to get rich. It's going to be, they're going to be building their cryptocurrency tokens and all that sort of thing into something that can actually be usable in the real world. So be aware of this. Look for those things that will have actual real use cases. And you're going to see a lot more of that in the Flare network moving forward. I think they're going to be doing just fine. And they're going to be getting into higher consciousness. Okay. And bringing a lot of that new technology, new ideas, and being aware of what's going on around them and adding that into the Flare network as they move along. There is going to be a moment in time when that cryptocurrency is going to be coming down, kind of like the Opal or Render that we've mentioned before. As they're adding new things, things can go wrong. And that's going to be happening with the Flare network in the next 2 years as they add on things. And that price is going to be moving around up and down because of that knee-jerk reactions, living in that fear moving forward. Okay. But overall, I think it's going to do rather well in the next 2 years. Exact prices, I do not know, but I do see it going up pretty good. in the next 2 years. So keep hanging on to that one. It should do very, very well. Can you pull some cards on TD Bank? Rumor that they may be next bank in trouble. Aha. I know TD Bank does a lot of business in the United States. I think it was primarily a Canadian bank, Toronto Dominion Bank, but they're doing a lot of things in the United States, and I think they're going to be affected in a huge way because of that business that they're doing in the United States. And of course, I don't have any of my asset in TD, never have. It just worked out that way. They are going to have a huge hard time in the next little while. They're very married to the situation that's happening in the United States, and it's going to be affecting them, and it's going to be affecting TD Bank as a whole, especially with the situation that they're trying to sneak in there with the CBDCs within the TD banking system. Okay, they're trying to be the first in Canada to do that, and we've heard many reports about the TD banking system with the CBDC type of thing going on. That's going to be hurting them as well here in Canada. As there was a lady that went from one province to another province and couldn't use her debit card because she didn't tell the bank that she was doing a trip. You have to remember CBDCs, you can only buy certain things at certain times and certain locations. And if you're outside of your 15-minute radius in your home plane, you won't be able to make it or take any money out or use your debit card. And now you can imagine what will happen when more and more people find this situation happening, and TD Bank has not told anybody here in Canada that that's the case. It's in the fine print of their new rules and regulations. And who really reads the fine print? All right. So you're going to have a lot of people that are pissed off that they can't go from Winnipeg to Calgary and buy a pizza pop. Okay. Because they're out of their location. So that's going to be really hurting TD Bank in Canada. Worldwide, I think they're going to be having a lot of trouble. They're going to have to get into this. There's going to be this situation where they're doing all this naughty things that they thought was right. And it's going to be having a huge impact on the TD banking system. And now they're going to have to do the getting far away from those things coming up very, very soon. Okay. We didn't know that would happen if we did that. And why are all the customers leaving? So that'll be a thing. And they're going to have to go through this detoxification of their platform, kind of like Bud Light is doing right now. We didn't mean to do the commercial with the person. And please, we're macho. Buy our beer. And that's kind of be what TD Bank is going to be doing with their CBDC stupidity that they've done. So that's going to be a thing. Yes, they are in a little bit of hot water. Yes, they are going to be getting into trouble coming up very, very soon. Okay, because they're too married to the American system as well. So just be aware of these things in their TD banking system environment. Pepe DAO. Is that connected to the PepeCoin?
I think it's the same.
It's the same.
I believe.
Okay, we just did a reading on that. I think it's going to do okay in the next 2 years. I think the question was what's going to be doing. I don't think it's going to be the coin. It's not going to take over Bitcoin or anything.
He's asking about this week.
This week, well, 10 times itself this week. Well, if it's fairly new, I could see that happening as soon as any cryptocurrency gets on the exchanges. So if it's a pre-sale type of situation, and then it pops onto the exchanges, then it usually has this pump and dump after that. So just be ready with that. Get ready with the trigger finger if that is the case. I do see it pumping quite a bit in the next little while. So if you're hanging on to this particular cryptocurrency, yeah, it'll pump like many other cryptocurrencies. Will it stay there? I don't think so. It may be there for a year or two. Oh, it's a different coin than PepeCoin. Okay. There's Pepe everywhere. Jeez. It's hard to keep up with all the meme coins that are coming out. But going back to the other one, I think it will have a pump if it's just coming out. Usually it happens every time. Me and the wife have friends that do this all the time, and they make lots of money doing this. Not suggested if you don't know what you're doing, but if you do know what you're doing with that, you can make quite a bit of money. You buy in, it hits the market, it'll pump up, and then what they usually do on these brand new coins, as soon as they hit the exchanges, they sell. Boop, and it goes flat for the next little while. So if this is the case for this and Pepe DAO, yeah, just be ready for that. And if they've done some new things to their cryptocurrency, which I'm picking up that they're doing, making excitement, yes, it'll pop. Okay? Hopefully that answers your question. Bitcoin to 25K before May 6th. Will it happen? That's American price, right? I think here in Canada, it's like 37 at the moment. I didn't check this morning. But in American price, I don't see it happening for May 6th. I think it's going to be a little beyond that, where it's going to be hitting that $25,000 mark American. Easily Canadian, but not American in that period of time. I think it's going to be a little after that. Where it actually hits that price. You should be buying Bitcoin anyways, just as a rule of thumb. And there's going to be some interesting things that happen to the cryptocurrency market overall because of all the things happening in the cryptocurrency environment. We got the SEC thing happening. Gary Gensler is not having a good time of it. And I think from that particular thing, I think they're going to be hurrying up regulations very, very soon. I'm picking up new regulations in the United States for cryptocurrencies in the next year or two. And with that news coming out, which is going to be coming out very, very soon, I think cryptocurrencies are going to be going up quite a bit. It's one of these things that the bigger players have been waiting for in the United States. We need regulations, and then all the money's going to be piling in. The big players are already into the cryptocurrencies. That's just the thing that they tell us regular folks. Okay? And then all the Manulife and the BlackRock and all that who are already into cryptocurrencies, once they put regulations in, then the regular people will feel safe about it and actually start buying in. So That's going to be a thing in the new year. And it's going to be pumping the price of many of the cryptocurrencies around us. Okay, hopefully that answers your question. Hello, Andre. Can you take a look at Zigzag and also Mute token? Zigzag. Is that the rollies? Remember those? Come in little packages. And you put certain substances in the little paper. It was a brand for little rolling papers. If you remember back in the day. Well, here in Canada, I don't know about other parts of the world. Okay. So, Zigzag first. There's going to be a lot of financial flow within Zigzag, and it's going to be doing okay for the next little while. I'm thinking that they're going to be making it very user-friendly for the end user, which is good, and they're going to have some type of use for the end user where it's just not a cryptocurrency with no use. So they're going to have some type of use, and it's going to be pumping that price a little bit in the next little while. And they're going to, I guess, have a pretty good group. People that are involved with the Zigzag. Okay, they're going to have that inner power within that group of people that are part of the Zigzag community. That's the word I was looking for. And I think it's going to do rather well for the short term, at least. Okay, depending on what the use case is. If it doesn't really have an incredible use case, then it's going to be a short-term hold. I think it's going to be lasting a little longer than many of the other cryptocurrencies because it's going to put in some use case for the end user. Okay, so just be ready for that. And the Mute token. So we're going from rolling papers to the mute button on your TV. Let's have a look. I'm picking up Mute is doing a little bit of fast one behind the scenes. They're there. They're going to be building upon it, but they're not as dedicated to the project as you would think. I think they're just looking for a quick buck on this one, so they can. What's the phrase? Cash grab type of situation on that one. So if you know how to play it, you can make some pretty good money with that, but it'd be one that I would not personally get involved in. But it's there, and I don't think it's going to be lasting very long. Okay? Hopefully that answers your question. Can I get a card reading? Thanks. Burberry. It's been a while since he's been on, and now a couple shows he's been here every time. So cool.
Cool beans.
Cool beans. It's always good to see people come back. For you yourself, you're going to be a situation going to be coming around. We're going to be parenting and looking after certain aspects and people that are around you. There's going to be a situation around you where you're going to have to let go of a situation and not be so involved in it where it can be constraining to somebody else. Okay? And you're going to have to see the beauty of this particular situation moving forward and know that sometimes when we let go of a particular situation, instead of trying to control every aspect of a certain thing, that sometimes it's much better to let go of things and let them run their course. This is a big lesson for many of the people that are. I'm not saying that you're a control freak. I had a boss that liked to control every aspect, and once he started to let things go and not micromanage everything, things ran so much more smooth. And I'm thinking in this particular case, if you let things run its course, I think you're going to see some huge beauty in that particular situation moving forward. Okay, hopefully that helps you out. How about Manulife Bank? Any issues? Oh, there's issues in many of the banks. I didn't know that they were a bank. It's a financial institution. I know that. Probably something in the States. They have a situation around them that's going to be working out well for them, actually. They got positive expectation. They got a lot of financial flow, which is good. And I think they're going to be saving themselves from all the things. I guess they prepared themselves prior to the banking collapses that we're seeing right now, and they're in pretty good shape overall. Okay. Manulife is a Canadian bank. Okay. I do remember their policies coming across my desk as mutual funds and all that sort of thing. Did a lot of business with them back in the day. But I believe they've set themselves up for survival through this time. Okay, so there you go. That's Manulife Bank. Will there be a U.S. spot ETF this year or next? I don't think it's going to be this year because now they got to get all the regulations into place and all that nonsense because they've been holding back on those. If it's any time, it'd be the next year while they get everything ready for that. They got to do thing one, which is getting all the regulations in place for the U.S. market, which they've been holding off on for a long time. I think just about every other country has some type of regulation for cryptocurrencies and ETFs. The only country I know of that doesn't have any is the U.S. And of course, they're the biggest player of them all. I think it won't be this year. All the policies and all that will be put into place in this year, and then the next year after that, I do see some type of ETFs rolling out in the next 2 years after this one, after the regulations are put into place. They've gotten way behind everybody else, so I'm wishing them luck in the U.S. Okay, hopefully that helps you out. I missed the price prediction for Ethereum. What's the price point? 12,000 to eventually 40,000? Yeah, 12,000. I could see it happening in the next 2030, 2045. In that period of time, we're going to start to see prices really jump up because of their use case. The more people using it, and more regulations happening behind the scenes, and all that connectivity within the cryptocurrency ecosystem, we're going to see prices go up for many of the cryptocurrencies that are attached to this huge web of cryptocurrencies and companies that are attached to this main central hub of the Ethereum blockchain. So if you're sitting on some ETH, keep sitting. Okay, hopefully that answers your question. Big PTC pump at the moment? At this moment, I think it's just a little pump.
40,800.
40,800?
Yeah, for Canadian.
Wow. So that's what in Canadian?
That is Canadian.
American.
Yeah.
That's probably like 24,000?
29,800.
29?
Yeah.
29,000. I don't think it's going to be long lasting. It's going to be a nice short pop, and it's going to come down a little bit in the next little while, and then going up that kind of along those lines. We're still in that bunking Bronco period of time. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question. 3-card read on my new business plan. Ooh, always have good plans. I got some new plans for my business. You always have to be ever changing in business. You got to try to stay on top of everything, which can be fun and difficult at the same time. You're going to be, of course, your business plan as it is right now. It's going to be very good. You're going to be moving forward in a good way. There's, of course, going to be changes as you move along. But you're going to be finding some things that are very funny about your business plan. You go, why did I plan that way? Okay. No plan stays the way it is while you're doing it. It always changing. So you're going to have some fun time readjusting things as we move along. And I think you're going to have some parts of your plan that are going to be very spot on. Okay. So your entire plan is pretty good. There's going to be a lot of changes, and you're going to have some laughter. What did I think of that? But there's going to be parts of it once you're into the fray, okay, that are rock solid. So keep on keeping on. Okay, you got all the right elements. You got the right work ethic, I hope. Law of action, law of attraction, right? And don't be afraid to make those changes as we move along. Overall, I think it's pretty good. Continue, but be warned that you are going to be making big changes as you move along. Okay? Hopefully that helps you out.
No more questions.
No more questions. What time we got? Oop. E. 20.
No, that's your.
That's mine.
Is it?
Any more questions?
I guess not.
There must be something.
Well,
Well,
we'll wait.
we'll wait. We can look at the monkey.
Oh, that's probably copyright.
See the monkey? He's smiling at you. Maybe zinc. We don't have a lot of our regulars here today. The sync. I think I already did a video on that one.
Well, you wanted questions, don't you?
Yes. Any particular thing about zip sync? We'll have a look at the 2-year cycle for that. So 2 years for sync, I think it's pronounced. I think a lot of things that they're doing behind the scenes are going to be doing very, very, very well. There's going to be certain situations, as you see, that sort of thing, that are going to be holding it back to where it needs to be for the next little while. I'm thinking that though it itself is not a bad cryptocurrency, I may have a lot of changes that are going to be coming up for it as they move along and being more user friendly for the end user. So So that's going to be a thing that's going to have to be worked on to do really big growth. And they're going to have to remember to keep themselves into motion and not just come across some situation and sit there. Okay. Life is about movement. Okay. So I think they're going to be getting into a situation where they're going to come across something and they don't know how to do it and they're going to stop moving. Okay. Solving situations is all about movement. Okay. And replanning and rethinking our situation. I think they're going to be getting into a situation like that very, very soon. Okay, so hopefully that answers that question. Phantom price, Gala and Phantom. Gala is pretty good. Phantom's pretty good as well. Let's look at the Gala first. I think there's going to be a lot more money coming into their ecosystem coming up as they improve end user experience, and they're going to have to let go of old thoughts on how things are run within their community. I think they're going to be making some big changes, and with those big changes, they're going to be moving the level, the scale of everything that they do into a higher realm coming up very, very soon. And they're going to have to get more and more creative. And I think you're going to see that moving forward for the next little while. Okay, so I think they're going to be doing okay overall. Some big changes coming for them, which is good. Change is good, as they say. Can't stay stagnant. That's when you die. For Phantom, which I haven't heard much about for quite some time, they're on a vacation. Okay, that's the vacation card. So they may not have been doing that much work. That actually happens a lot in cryptocurrency groups, the programmers. They'll go, it's done. Let's move on to something else. And a whole bunch of the programmers will move on to something else. So I think they're in a little bit of a vacation period of time where nothing is really happening to them. For this one, I think trusting your intuition on this one. But I think it's going to be coming back around in some fashion. I think somebody's going to be coming along and actually starting working on that particular cryptocurrency in the next little while. So both are good. I think Gala is the better of the two moving forward. Okay. Do you think SEC is delaying crypto regulations on purpose? Yes. Yes, they are. Now, the question is, why? Why would they do this in the United States out of all the different places? You have to remember there's this whole, well, I shouldn't say large segment of the population, a fair size of important members of our society that have made a lot of money with the old system. They want to continue to have that situation going on for themselves. Everybody, people in power always want to stay in power at all costs. So with that in mind, this is why everything has been delayed, because they don't want the new system to take over the old system, because all these elites, rich people, do not want to lose all their money, because not all those big money people are into crypto. A good portion of them are. Okay. but not everybody. So I'm thinking that a lot of the big wigs are going to be getting into the cryptocurrency because they can't hold it back any longer. So this is why they've been trying to delay it for a long, long time. And it's like that with any new technology. People don't, there's a segment that does not like the new technology and they rather stick with the old technology. It's like the difference between horseback riding and the automobile. People were dead against the automobile. It's never ever gonna work. We all should stay on horseback. That sort of thinking. Okay. Yes, they're going to be positioning themselves before the regulations come, and this is exactly what we're seeing. And we're seeing this within banks that are holding cryptocurrency and offering it to their richer clients. Oh, get into the cryptocurrency, Mr. Rich person. For the lower class people, don't get into it. It's horrible. You don't want that. It's like buying tulips, right? Then there's going to be a change once the ultra rich have all their crypto filled. Then the banks and institutions that give out cryptocurrencies are going to go, well, it's okay for the regular person. And what will happen after that? Once they do the dancing monkeys and the singing girls and the singing fish and commercials, get your Bitcoin now at such and such a place. We have regulations. Yay. The price is going to go like a rocket. Okay. It's okay now. The powers that be says it's okay. And of course, we're going to be left with the crumbs. And there's going to be demand for the crumbs of Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and all the other big cryptocurrencies. Okay? So we're going to be fighting over the crumbs where the big organizations who've already gotten into it have tons of Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. Their prices are going to go through the roof. This is why they've been part of the reason they've been delaying the regulations. Okay, because they don't want us regular people to be rich. They want to be rich. They don't want us to have a leg up. So just think of that if you're struggling to decide to buy cryptocurrencies. Okay, it's part of the plan. Anything else? Will I start an Etsy shop for 3D products? And will it be successful? Me and the wife have been playing with our new 3D printer. It's been all through the night. No. It's a lot of fun. It's a big learning curve. It's our new hobby. We found a new hobby. So we're watching a ton of videos on how to do 3D printing. We're a little late to the game, I guess, but
Yeah,
always.
Except for crypto.
And in a sense, we got in fairly early into the crypto game. We saw it for what it was after many meetings going, this has legs. We started doing my research. And, holy crap. It is going to be the thing of the future. Even though it's not seen yet. Okay, breaking free card. So, yeah. Maybe you'd be going to be selling buttons. The wife loves buttons for whatever reason. Self-reliant. And it may be a good way of making some side money for the household. I think it's going to be very successful when you do the Etsy shop. Make sure you do your own designs, of course. Maybe you're going to be doing all the buttons and the keychains and that sort of thing. Smaller items, I think, will do very, very well. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm going to hear throughout the day and night.
Yeah.
Okay, if you'd like a personal reading with me, make sure you go to psychreadingsbyandre.com where all that information is there. If you like a personal healing with my wonderful wife, who's the Reiki master, go to psychreadingsbyandre.com where all that information is there as well. If you like to participate in any of our affiliate products, make sure you go to psychreadingsbyandre.com, like a broken record. And if you should happen to choose one and purchase one, know that we make a little bit of money from that purchase. Okay, with that said, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in a few minutes for the remote reading. See you in the future. Bye-bye.